I mean, this is just what we're dealing with this day and time. And being that I'm in music, I'm more like the outlaw prime minister. I'm carrying on the same mission that Pac had. I'm just taking it and tweaking it for this day and time. But a lot of stuff that Tupac warned us about, and speaking of Tupac, this was the day that he was assassinated. Let's say killed. This was the day he was assassinated. You know, that's maybe something we can touch on another show. But a lot of stuff that he has predicted during that time, we're seeing it now in this day and time. You know, we sit up here and jam this man's music, but do we really understand the underlying meaning of what he was trying to warn us about? Just like our other leaders. Yeah. You have people who see the truth, but too scared to retweet the truth. See, we're dealing with a cold, calculating devil. This is what we're dealing with in this day and time. And when I say devil, I'm talking about a mindset. Yeah. A mindset of ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance, combating ignorance. That's the main culprit right there.
Exactly. You know, you get these people, man, and you know the devil is very smart. He's not gonna send. He's just gonna always send somebody that looks like us take you out. But then what's happening right now is that they're using our emotions to cause us to move a certain way so they can push their agenda. They're sending those who look like us.
Yeah.
And this and overall, I try to tell brothers and sisters on the streets, you have to see the full picture. Don't just scale the surface. In Art of War, the book Art of War, it says to know your terrain. That has nothing to do with just land features. It means know, and I'll use the scripture with that. It says know them whom you labor among. Know who you around.
Yeah.
Know what the agenda is. Yeah. And know how to combat it effectively. You know, I like when people think I'm just some rapper until they invite me out to speak. Then, speaking of rappers, they're using a lot of us to sell foolishness.
Oh,
this is what we're dealing with. This is another form of slavery. You know, I got brothers right here in Houston. Some of the ones that everybody look up to are scary. You never see none of these brothers when we out here in the streets. But you respect them, and I ain't gonna call their names because eventually you're gonna find out who they are. Yeah. You respect them as though they are OGs when they have snitched on other folks to get where they are at today. Right. But it shows you how deception and believing foolishness has really become the dinner for the day. Yeah.
This is that thing of
the dinner for today.
Yeah. I was gonna say that thing of taking people at face value. To me, that's a mindset of like a teenager would almost have. Like, oh, you know, he got all this jewelry and all this. That's all his. No, he might be renting it for, you know, the video shoot. You know, you don't know anything about it.
Exactly. So, you know, in a nutshell, you know, everybody know what I represent. I do this music because I like doing it, but at the same time, I'm bigger than just some damn music. Yeah. You know, we've been dancing. We've been dancing around the problems. We've been listening, but we really hadn't been listening, because if you were listening, your actions would coincide with your listening. And most MCs don't talk like me because they're scary. That's just what it boils down to. And when you get to a point that nothing can separate you from the truth, then you've arrived. But if you are at a point to where you don't understand how to move effectively, then that's a problem. Social networking, for example, of all the good information and that we have, we're sitting around tweeting some female's picture. Are you serious?
Yeah, we in the information era for a reason. I mean, you're supposed to grasp that and use it to your advantage, not to frivolous advantages. You know, I mean, it's a hard call for, you know, because you see that all day. Like, man, I mean, you really talking about that? I mean, you could be uplifting your mind or making better connections than what you're doing right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know you just wanted me to kind of introduce myself. Let me back up a little bit.
Okay.
A lot of people want to know where I came from. You know, they don't remember me from the original formation of the Outlaws. I'm from the second generation, second resurrection of the Outlaws. Young for another time. But Young Noble was the brother that brought me part of the Outlaw Nation. You may hear me on, you will hear me on Outlaw Nation Volume 2 and Volume 3 more recently. The song that I have on the Riding All Week on them project for my brother, Thug and Peace, to our brother, Hussein Fatal. I was blessed to record our last single with him prior to his transition.
Yeah.
Notice I said transition. I didn't say death.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know you know, but for the audience that's not in the spiritual realm, you got to start seeing this thing through the spiritual eye.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I came from, and from then on, you probably heard me feature with Mr. Mike from the Swap House. I got my own thing going, but more so, I'm a conscious hip-hop artist in Texas. There's a lot of conscious hip-hop artists in Texas that you never hear about because it's clouded around the foolishness that normally comes out of our city.
Yep.
You know, and I just want to be clear, I do not represent any of that. When I see those brothers, of course, I greet them as my brothers, but they know what I represent. You're not going to hear me talk about no sip and serve. You're not going to hear me talking about no candy cars, no rims, none of that foolishness.
Yeah.
You're going to hear me talking about waking up the deaf, dumb, and blind.